Hi everybody, my name is Victoria, and in today's video we're going to be talking about 3 different carriers that I use for my babies. Do you ever get lost at the amount of different carriers available for you at the market? I know there's so many of them and they're so different. There are structured carriers and they are fabric carriers. So for me personally, I prefer the fabric carriers, and today I'm going to be talking about 3 different fabric carriers that I use and I love for my babies, which is ring sling, stretchy wrap, and woven wrap. In the future videos I will be doing tutorial for each of those carriers. Please let me know in the comments below which one of them I should do first. First, I think it's important to say why I love the fabric carrier so much. And the reason is because I think it's like a custom fit to my body and to my baby's body, where I can adjust easily and tighten where I need to. So simply put, for me, it's just way more comfortable to have the fabric carriers. I feel like they're also more appropriate for smaller babies at the beginning because they can give you this full body support, the spine support, and it's equal distribution of weight. So let's get started with the 3 fabric carriers that I used, and since I am wearing the ring sling, I guess that's where we're gonna start. Number 1, ring sling. So this is the carrier that I used a lot with my son and I loved it back then. I think the benefits of the ring sling is that the fabric is pretty short and it's easily manageable. You do have to spend some time trying to figure out and learn how to get this ring at the appropriate level so that it's comfortable for you, and then also how to adjust it the right way. But pretty much if you spend some time on it, you're gonna get really proficient. So with the ring sling there is no wrapping involved, there is no buckles. It's just with a little practice you can really get used to it and use it and put that on and off within seconds. The downside of it is that for me, when I breastfeed, I need to be able to breastfeed on both sides, and with this one it's a little harder for me to wear my baby on the right side. For some reason left side is my go-to side when I do the ring sling, and so using that on the right side usually does not work. Then another downside of it is that if you get the ring too low or too high, it's not really comfortable, like the ring can get into the body. Carrier number 2 is the stretchy wrap. I'm going to be showing on the video what this is. It's pretty much a long fabric, no buckles, no rings, very soft and stretchy, as opposed to ring slings or woven wraps, which I'll be talking about a little bit later. I think it's like the most common wrap used at the early stage of baby's life. This is what I did with 2 of my babies as well. I love this wrap for the infancy stage of my babies because as soon as they get heavier, the wrap cannot hold the M position of the hips for the babies, which is really important for their hip development. I switch to the other carriers once I see that my babies become heavier and the wrap cannot hold it as well. Also, the stretchy wrap are really useful and easy to use to get familiar with wrapping. So once the baby gets heavier, you can switch to woven wrap with more practice and easier to adjust. Спасибо. Понравилось. And let's talk about M position for a moment. You can see my baby here in the readable M position. The knees are higher than her butt and she is completely close to me. If I lean, then she doesn't go anywhere. And the M position is important because it prevents hip dysplasia, and I will link the research study on that in the description below. I do have to say that there are multiple carriers that are marketed as safe for babies and toddlers, and the position of the hips is not M position. Usually the knees are lower than the butt, and that makes hip dysplasia more possible for those babies who are born this way. You can see it here. So when the knees are lower than the butt, it's not a safe position to wear your baby. Last but not least is the woven wrap. That is the wrap I came to love with this baby. I did not even consider it when I had my son because I thought that ring sling is shorter and more manageable and it's easier to put on and off, which is not the case this time around. So I feel like woven wraps are really a custom fit for my body and my baby's body, and I love it so much because it's soft and it's manageable and I can tighten anywhere I want to, and there is no rings or buckles. Nothing can get pressed into my body. So the woven wrap is different because you have this equal distribution of weight. So in a ring sling, I only have it on one side, so all the pressure and weight is basically on my right side right now. That's why if I wear the ring sling, I have to switch off the sides. Whereas with woven wraps, I don't have to do that. There's this big X on my back, which makes the distribution of weight excellent. And the second reason I love woven wraps is because I can breastfeed on both sides. The downside of the woven wraps is that it's very long fabric and you do have to spend some time learning how to use it, but once you do, you will never go back to any other carrier. Right now I can wear her at the front, and then I can also make the same thing with my woven wrap, so kind of like a ring sling but without a ring. I can also wear her on my back, and then there's just like so much versatility with this woven wrap. The only downside I can think of is that it takes some time to learn how to do it, but it's just a fantastic carrier that I love so much right now, and I use it every day. And last but not least, I have to say that Stretchy wrap and woven wraps, they are completely different carriers. Yes, both of those carriers are long fabric, but Stretchy wrap is stretchy, so that it doesn't hold as much weight as the woven wrap, because woven wraps do not stretch. And that makes it possible to carry babies from infancy all the way into toddlerhood and beyond. And this is it for today's video. We talked about 3 different fabric carriers that I love, which is ring sling, stretchy wrap, and woven wraps. I hope you liked this video, and if you do, please leave a comment below. Let's stay connected, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!